Hey everyone, just thought I'd hop on and do a quick video for you all because my inbox has been like jam-packed full of questions of other mums that want to go away and like knowing what to take. And honestly, it was such a minefield. I watched so many videos, I wrote so many lists. I like, as a first time mum, it's really hard to know what to take on holiday and what you'll need. And the weather, you never know what the weather's going to be like. You can prepare, but it could change at a notice. So just before we head out to swimming, we came back yesterday from holiday and already got activities today. So just before we go out for swimming, I thought I'd hop on and do a quick video for you all of my top tips, what worked for me. Obviously, it might be different for you, but I hope this helps someone. If you have any questions, pop them below and I will reply as soon as possible. And I will also be linking all of the items that I mention and my lists of things that I packed as well in the comments for you to be able to look at and grab quickly as and when you need. So, for those that don't know me, my son Theodore is 5 months old, and yeah, this is our first family holiday, so it was quite daunting for me to know what to take for him when. Now, we were super lucky that we went to visit my father and my stepmom, and that meant that we didn't have to take as much as we would have needed to had we gone to a hotel, say. So I'll start off with what I packed and then I'll go into the flight, what we did on the flight, and then coming home flight. So first of all, what I packed. Now I have wrote a list because I would forget what everything I've took, because I literally took everything and I was so scared that I was going to go over the limit, but I didn't. In fact, I was way under, which then I kicked myself because I could have taken so much more stuff. But what I took with me now, for those that know me, I breastfeed, but I do a little bit of bottle feeding as well. So we do like one, maybe two bottles a day, but mainly just one at night that we do. So for me, in regards to packing what to take for feeding, was super easy because I'm taking my boobs with me. But for the formula in the evening, what we took was pre-made formula. So I was going to take powder. Those that have watched a video before that I did on what I use to feed with formula, normally I do a powder and I use a rapid cool mask which cools the temperature down so the bottle's quick. But I didn't want to take the cool mask and the hot flask even. I didn't want to take the cool flask and the hot flask with me. I just didn't want all of that extra added stuff. So I took 2 bottles of pre-made formula in my suitcase, and I also took 1 bottle of pre-made formula with me on the airplane. I'm not sure how many pre-made formulas you can take with you, so double check with your air flight. I think as long as it's not excessive amounts, enough for them to be on the plane, that would be fine. So I took 1 bottle with me on the plane. I also did a click and collect order. Now, some people have told me it's hit and miss with click and collect. Sometimes it's there, sometimes they cancel it. So it's something to be wary about, which is why I took the spares in my bag just in case they cancelled it. But of course, I mainly breastfeed. So for me, if they did cancel it, it wasn't a huge issue. So I did do a click and collect order for 7 pre-made bottles because we was going for a week. So I did 7 pre-made bottles each for the week, so then I didn't have to faff around with making up formula while I was away, boiling kettles, waiting for it to cool, all of that jazz. We could just literally open up the bottle, pour it in. Once you open up those pre-made bottle formulas, they can drink it within 24 hours. So for us, it was super easy. I know a lot of people recommended to me tablets. So Theo has HIPP Organic, so they do the pre-made formula bottles. I also know Aptamel do, but he had slight tummy issues with that, so that's why we swapped the organic one. But the Aptamil one also do tablets, which somebody recommended. So if you are on Aptamil, you can take the tablets, which take up obviously less space and they don't count as your liquid, which is fabulous as well. But yeah, for us, we just took some pre-made bottles of formula. Also, I did notice in the Spanish supermarkets as well that there was like a Aptamel looking brand that looked exactly the same as Aptamel. So it's worth looking into if where you're going has sort of like an equivalent formula that your baby will take. So yeah, we took formula, we took 2 bottles with us, we took 2 MAM bottles because that's what Theo uses. Obviously MAM bottles, if you do use them, are able to sterilise in the microwave. Unfortunately, my father doesn't have a microwave, so then we had to think about what else we could do. So if you have a microwave, it's great. You can just sterilise the bottles in the microwave. They like break down and you can sterilise them. You can also get microwavable bags, which are great because they take up really no space at all. And again, you can put all your stuff in there, stick it in the microwave to use. We have a Milton cold water sterilizer that we use at home, the big 5 litre one, and in hindsight it probably would have fit in the suitcase and I could have stuffed loads of clothes inside it to take less space, because once you've got your clothes in, it's pretty much the same space as what those clothes would take up anyway by themselves. But what I did buy was a travel sterilizer, which behind me, by the way, I've got like piles of stuff that I'm trying to unpack, because as I said, I only got home yesterday, so we're trying to unpack as well. I don't know where the sterilizer is. I thought I had it, but it's just a little circular container, and again I stuffed it full of stuff to take up less space in the suitcase. And that one, you just add a Milton tablet in with cold water, and you can sterilize it over 15 minutes, I think it takes to sterilize, and that is enough to fit 1 bottle. And I also fit a syringe in there, or snot sucker, whatever I needed to sterilise at that point. So in regards to formula, that's what I recommend. Obviously, if you have got a microwave, take a microwavable bags and click and collect your formula so it takes up less space and you don't have to pack it in your suitcase. And because it's going to get drank over there, you won't need to take it home. Also, we took nappies, obviously. So I took with me, I think I took 1 pack. Oh no, I did a click and collect for nappies as well. So I did 1 pack of 30 for Boots. So them we used quite quickly. So we did have to buy some nappies abroad, but again, it wasn't such a big deal. We just went to a local supermarket and got some. I ended up, for a week, we went through about, I would say, about 90 nappies. So obviously if you use reusable, great, but yeah, we went through 90 nappies, which is quite a lot. So we did end up buying another packet, which we've come home with. We only took like 3 or 4 out of them. So nappies I did click and collect. I also did wipes click and collect, and I took 2 packets of wipe in the click and collect, and I also had 1 in my hand luggage, obviously for our flight. I took a travel mat. So we've got this really nice travel mat which folds up like this and it fits in my travel bag. So it is quite a generous size, so it's not like the small ones that fold up really small, and it is got a little bit of padding, so it's still a bit comfortable for him. So we used the travel mat. And in regards to travel mat, before I forget, when we was on the flight, we actually changed him. We was lucky enough both times to have a seat in the middle, so we changed him in the middle of us, because toilets on airports, like they're small, they're too small for you to go in, let alone change a baby, especially when they're screaming. Rich did do it on the way home, but it was just a bit of a nightmare in that toilet. It's much easier if you have got the space to do it in between the 2 seats. Saves everything. So nappies, wipes, creams. I just took a small travel pot of Sudocrem that I had left over. I think it came free in Emma's diary or something like that when I was pregnant, so I just took them. I keep it normally in my changing bag, so I just took a small one. We didn't actually end up needing it. What else did we use? Creams. Now, they do say that under 6 months babies shouldn't use sun cream. I personally wasn't comfortable with Theo not wearing sun cream, so I did some research into it, and loads of people recommended the Sultan Baby from Boots, which is 50 plus. So this is the one we bought. Theo's fine, no sunburn at all, so we use that every day. Didn't bring him out in any reactions. The only reaction he had was around his chin, but I think that was more to do with dribble. Usually I put something on his chin for dribbling, but I forgot to bring it with me, so I don't think it was the sun cream. But yeah, this sun cream I recommend. Also, my partner is ginger and he normally burns on every holiday, and he didn't burn this one. He was using this too. So hands down, I think it's a good one. After sun we ended up buying out there. I didn't put any after sun on Theo, but up to you whether you do or not. Back to feeding, because I breastfeed, obviously sometimes they are quite full, so I did take with me breast milk storage bags and a hacker just in case. I didn't end up using either of those two things. Out of my list, by the way, I ended up using about 90% of the things that I took, so I would recommend still everything that I'm saying to take with you. I also took Milton tablets to sterilize, which I mentioned before. Milton tablets as well, I've heard if you put them in with clothes when they're covered in poop, gets rid of the poop too, so top tip there. What else did we take with us? I'm just going to look at my list. So we didn't take this with us, which is his nail file. So by the end of the week, his nails were like claws. So I do recommend taking a nail file. If you have cut your baby's fingers like we did at the beginning, I recommend getting this, which is an electric nail file. Literally has different heads that you pop on depending on their age, and when you turn it on and use it, if it touches the skin, it stops it. So the minute it goes on the skin, it stops completely, so it doesn't hurt them, and it's so much easier to get those little razor blades, because yeah, it's super hard to try and cut their nails, and bless Rich, he cut Theo's finger at first, and yeah, since then we bought one of these. What else did we take? So we took a pram fan with us as well. I bought this one from Amazon, and it literally just hooks onto the pram, but also great because it's got this little stand so you can use it in a room, and it's rechargeable with a micro USB. So pram fans and masks, because even if you're not in the pram, you can use it in the hotel or wherever. We also took clothes. Now, clothes is hit and miss what to take. I ended up taking 7 vests and sleep suits for the evening, 7 vests and outfits for the day. I did not use all of the clothes. We did do washing when we was out there because, again, staying at my father's, lucky enough to have access to a washing machine. But you could also wash in the sinks if you're staying in a hotel. So I personally, if I was staying in a hotel, I would take a bit of washing liquid with me for clothes, because we all know that it's inevitable there will be some form of puke or something on outfits, and you really don't want to leave that till you get home. So yeah, I would personally take it with me, but each to their own what you want to do. We also took a thermometer. I didn't need, but just in case, it's always good to have. Took a first aid kit, which we ended up using. I can't remember what we used out of it, but we used something out of the first aid kit, so I do recommend taking one. We picked up like a family first aid kit when he was born, and it's small enough that you can chuck in your car and in your suitcase as well. We also took with us, we wanted to go swimming, so we also took with us swim nappies. Now, if I hadn't already had disposable swim nappies, I wouldn't have bothered buying them. But I had them because they're the first thing I bought before I started his swimming lessons. But since his swimming lessons, I've invested in one of these, which is a happy nappy. Now, if you don't know what they are really good. It's basically a reusable swim nappy, but it has layers, so it holds everything in. Now, you've got 2 options with the swim nappies. You've got the normal swim nappy, which is just like this, and it holds it in, but you have to wear a disposable one or a liner inside. So you get liners and a white sort of pant-looking thing that you can wear inside. Or you can spend, I think it's an extra £5 to just get the Duo one. Now, the Duo one has another layer inside, but this kills all the germs, basically, if they were to go toilet in it. Obviously, you do have to wash it afterwards. You just hand wash it, but it's great, reusable. It's hard to get them in it. I do recommend as well to measure them because they're a lot smaller than they say. So they would say something like, I don't know, we bought the 3 to 6 month and there was no way that was even getting over Theo's leg. So we ended up buying the 1 to 2 years one because of the size of Theo. And yeah, so recommend measuring them first and checking out the sizes. But this is all you need. Now, what I didn't know, actually, which I found out from swimming, was a lot of the sun suits you buy, like the swimming suits you buy from like Asda, Tesco's, they're not actually swimming suits, they're sun suits. So they protect them from the sun, but it doesn't really keep them warm in a swimming pool or anything like that. So we did use that because we bought one prior to swimming. But over the top of our sun suit, we also used a body warmer. So these can be bought like with no sleeves or with sleeves. Advertising the Water Babies one, I actually picked this little number up from Vinted. It pretty much was brand new, and I think I got it for like £2-3. So yeah, have a look on Vinted or eBay or whatever if you don't want to pay the prices. But this kept him really warm, so we was able to go swimming the whole holiday, which is great because we love swimming as a family. And he's kept warm if it is slightly cooler. Now, on the subject of swimming, we also bought a baby float. I hit that, sorry. Pause. So I also bought a baby float. So we bought this Le Col baby float. It had great reviews, so it's why I bought it. Again, I'll link it below. He didn't like being on his tummy in it, but we had him like on his back in it, and he loved it, and it protected him from the sun with the shade. So it's great. And then if you flip it over, there's a little ball inside, so when they get older, they can play with it. But 100% recommend it. We used it a lot. And our stepmom also bought him a little paddling pool, which was really good for the days that it was too hot to go out. We could just stay outside the flat with the house with a little bit of water in the paddling pool with it. I filled up with a bit of warm water as well. I took a thermometer, like a thermometer you would use in your bath, with me, so I could check the temperature for him. And we used that. Again, if you're not staying with family, if you don't have access to a sink, it's also good to buy one of those little baby pools, because then you can also use it to clean baby. So you don't have to take their bath seat, because obviously bath seats are massive. You can use the paddling pool in the shower, because most hotels you go to abroad have showers, they don't have baths. Because we had a bath at my dad's, I just bathed with baby. But yeah, one of those little pools are great just to fill with a little bit of water, so you can wash them or even wash clothes in it in your hotel room. But yeah, he loved that pool. We got some rubber ducks as well, and we got a sunshade. Now, a sunshade is something I wanted to buy prior to going abroad, but I was worried about like space and allowance. So we did buy one when we got to Spain, and it was the best thing we bought, because portable shade for the baby and for Rich. So yeah, we did use that a lot. We put the paddling pool in it. We went to the beach and put the baby in it in his little seat, so he could sit on the beach while we could sit in the sun or walk to the water. So yeah, 100% recommend the shade as well. And they don't take up much space. They fold down really flat too. We bought one for adults, well, kids and adults, so it wasn't a tiny one, but it was big enough for us to get in as well. I'm glad we bought that one and not a baby one, because it also meant I could breastfeed in there as well. Sorry if I'm going too fast, I'm trying to fit it all in. So yeah, swim nappies, warmer. We took muslins with us, we took bibs with us. We took a blow-up chair, so the sit-me-up chairs, the one we got from our baby shower from the baby's aunt, is a Mama's and Papa's one, and it literally is like inflatable inside, so we can deflate it, stick it in the suitcase, take it with us. Absolute great. It's got loads of toys on them, on it for them to play with as well. So that was great. When we got to Spain, we just blew it up, and then the baby had a seat the whole time. But I know if you've got like a Bjorn bouncer, they fold up flat. Some bouncers fold up really flat, but they are quite heavy. So I do recommend one of those sit me up. It's just like a little rubber dome with some toys attached, and that, yeah, came in so handy for him. It meant that we didn't have to hold him all the time. Take any milestones, like it was his first holiday, so we took one of those milestone cards that said first holiday. If your baby is due to sit up or roll over, maybe take one of those with you just in case. What else? In general, you never know what a baby's going to have. Like, they could be ill one day and not the next. So teething powder, Calpol, Infocol, teething gel, they're all the kind of things that we took with us just in case. We ended up using quite a lot of them as well. Hats, we bought him a hat when we was there. But we did take a sun hat with him, like one of these sort of bucket hats. But I do recommend getting a hat with a cap because it gives them more of a shade. So we bought this cute one when we was out there, Pikachu hat. What else is there? We took one of these rocket, have I got it? The little shushers that shush them to sleep. This one's a rocket, so it's like really tiny. So it was perfect for taking with us instead of taking You and the Sheep, which is massive. Of course, you could also use Spotify on your phone, but if you want to use your phone as well, it's just nicer to have this. It attaches to anything. So yeah, I recommend these ones, and it does the sound. We took a snot sucker with us, which we actually used, and the saline spray. Clothes, as I said, we took loads of clothes, and socks as well. What else did we take? Hairbrush. These are all sort of like things that you would take anyway. Toiletries, towel, blankets. We took 2 types of blankets, a heavier one and a lighter one, depending on what the weather's like. You never know if it will change in the evening and get colder or hotter. And don't forget to take tags and tag everything. Tag all your luggage with your name, address, just in case it goes missing. I think that's pretty much everything. Now, coming back to your allowance of the plane, most planes allow you to take additional items for children. So actually with him, we was allowed 3 suitcases, but we only took 2. But we was also allowed to take a travel cot, stroller, or a car seat with us. You could pick 2 of those items. We decided to take the car seat and a travel pram. Now, some countries you don't need a car seat, but I personally don't feel safe with that. I would not put Theo in a car without a car seat. I've known somebody that has passed away in a car accident. Their baby has passed away, so I would never ever do that. But each to your own, it's your decision at the end of the day ultimately. But where you get the allowance, I would recommend taking a car seat. You can buy a car seat travel bag, which I didn't know about. But not only does it protect your car seat, but also it goes on like a rucksack, which is amazing because it frees up your arms, because anybody that has a baby knows how awkward it is to carry a car seat. So having that put on this backpack, sorted, checked it in straight away, so didn't have to worry about it till we got to the other end, so it wasn't an issue. Pram, however, was an issue. We was fortunate enough to be given our travel pram from a family member. For us, it didn't work for us, the pram. We didn't like the way it moved, so I would recommend if you are buying a travel pram, go and test it first. Just like you would with your normal pram, do that with a travel pram. Test it out. Feel, is it nice? Do you like the way it moves? Does it fold down small enough? Like, what do you like and not like about it? Make sure you know that before you go, because for us it was a real big faff to use it. It did come in handy though, so we are super grateful we took it. But yeah, if I'd have used it prior to going on holiday, I probably might have invested in another travel pram myself, or taken my normal pram with me, because it's not much difference for us. But yeah, so fill the travel pram first. We did take slings with us. We didn't really use the slings that much, I think once or twice. But it depends on what you're doing at the end of the day. If you're just going to the pool and back, you might just want to take a sling. If you're going for a long walk, you might want to take a pram. It depends on your holiday. It depends on your preference. Theo is really heavy, so pram is better for us if you're going far places. I also took an umbrella, which people think I'm mad, but I always take an umbrella on holiday. You never know what the weather's going to be like. And on the first day when we didn't have that shade, I used that umbrella in the pool. I used that umbrella to the beach to protect my baby and me. So I 100% recommend taking an umbrella. Yeah, I might be mad, but yeah, definitely for me it was a must. So also toys. What toys do you take? So for us, we took this little crinkly book for him because it doesn't take up much space, and it actually keeps him entertained for hours because of the different textures and the feel and the noises. We also took his penguin. If you haven't seen my post already, how much I rave about this penguin, you need a penguin like this in your life. And we took those little like socks and rattles that attach to him. So all things that sort of can't go too far. This all attaches to him. This we actually attached to me, so I have a teething necklace, so I put it on there, so it attached to me, and then we wrapped it around a tray table on the flight. We also then put him through the seat belt that we had spare, so again, he couldn't throw it too far because it was all attached. So I would recommend taking something that you can attach it to, but is also able to like unclip quickly so they can't get tangled in it or monitor him when they're using it. And this toy he absolutely goes nuts for. It plays stupid songs, but he loves this beat so much. It's normally on the car seat, but yeah, I'm so glad I picked it up last minute because he absolutely loves it and kept him entertained for ages. I also took one of those ones that fold around the pram for when we use the pram. And I also took these fidget spinners, which normally we use in the bath because they're suction. So we also put them on the airplane window. His might be a bit too young. He couldn't quite reach it, so I had to spin it and for him. But I think if they get a bit older and they can reach a bit more, they'll be really good for the older kids. So that is pretty much everything we took. We didn't take a cot with us, as I said. We only took the pram and the car seat because I made my dad go out and buy a travel cot. But you can check with your hotels. I think the ladies I was speaking to prior said most hotels might have a travel cot or a cot you can take. There's also places you can rent them to. So it just depends on where you're going. Look that up first before you go. And see if you need it and which you prefer. You might just want to take the car seat and the travel cot instead of the pram. Completely up to you. I think that is everything I took. If I remember something else, I will pop it in the comments. But I am going to hop off now quickly because we're going to go swimming. And then when I come back, I will talk through how the flight went, what we did on the flight, and yeah, just anything in general that I think of between now and then. See you all soon. Bye.